Take the founder of Tesla and SpaceX, for example. That is Elon Musk. With an IQ of 155, Elon Musk is considered one of the most intelligent person on the planet. He is said to understand complex problems very quickly, and he has constantly applied what he has learned by deconstructing ideas into their fundamental principles and then later going on to reconstructing them in new ways. That's undeniably creative, for it requires a great deal of ingenuity to be able to reinvent and repackage and then market the electric car in the 21st century. A technology that has been around since the 1830s, appearing long before the internal combustion engine. Of course, there's no pun intended here. Elon Musk is also considered highly intelligent for devising ways to send people to Mars on a rocket ship, whilst more than 90% of humanity would fare better with finding real solutions to the challenges they are facing on a daily basis here itself on planet Earth, such as poverty, climate change, unemployment, crime and wars. So what Elon Musk demonstrates is partial intelligence. Besides, he scores very low on emotional intelligence. Standardized tests and IQ evaluations only measure a singular conception of our ability, that is, our academic ability. Last year, the New Scientist wrote that this narrow focus on IQ to determine success is also depriving us of smart decision-making to respond to COVID-19 and climate change effectively. They wrote, "We have developed a conception of intelligence that's narrow, questionably scientific, self-serving, and ultimately self-defeating. We see the consequences in the faltering response of many nations to the COVID-19 pandemic and a host of other problems such as climate change, increasing income disparities, and air and water pollution. Our ways of thinking and nurturing a singular concept of intelligence hasn't brought in any intelligent solutions to real-world problems." We live our lives in fragments. For Elon Musk and many of us, our intelligence is fragmented. We live our life in fragments. The way we have structured our society, our communities, education, work, and culture, with its many forced and artificial ramifications and oftentimes irrational, self-defeating rules and obligations, we have as a result fragmented who we are. We have fragmented the functioning of our minds. We have fragmented how we perceive reality and deal with others. We have fragmented how we lead organizations and countries. We are one person at the office and another at home. We don't bring our whole selves to work, neither are we able to reconcile with the person we are at work when we return home. For the most part, we're not aware of our fragmentary existence. True intelligence is not fragmented nor partial. When we exist in fragments, true intelligence cannot be awakened. Our minds are not free. Jiddu Krishnamurti, one of the world's great philosophers or philosophical teachers from India, said that it's impossible for a brain that is broken up in its own functioning, in its own thinking into fragments, to experience true intelligence. And this is also what Sir Robinson meant when he said true intelligence is dynamic. If you look at the interactions of a human brain, intelligence is wonderfully interactive. The brain isn't divided into compartments, he said. So the old, the repetitious, the past, and the conditioned, it keeps our intelligence fragmented. Further, it is the compartmentalization of the brain that keeps people from experiencing the true creative potential of their whole brain. An inner revolution needs to occur for true intelligence to awaken. To become truly intelligent, an inner revolution needs to occur. A tremendous transformation needs to take place at the psychological level. Zen teacher Adyashanti says an inner revolution is one that uproots all of the old structures of one's consciousness. He says unless these structures are uprooted, there will be no creative thought, action, or response. Unless there is an inner revolution, nothing new and fresh can flower. So when the brain connects and rewires and starts functioning as a whole, it is when true intelligence awakens. The mind becomes coherent, still, and clear. A fluidity in our consciousness is born. Empathy, creativity, joy, love, compassion, they cannot be measured by IQ or standardized tests. But these are the skills that we need to solve the problems of the 21st century and make smarter decisions. We cannot create something new or solve our real-world problems if our thinking remains fragmented. We need to revise new ways of thinking about our self-serving and ultimately self-defeating concept of intelligence. We need to catalyze a revolution so that we awaken our true human intelligence from within. And before we part ways, let's ask ourselves, are we aware of the fragmentary existence within ourselves? Are we able to look at the whole of our existence and not in fragments? And are we able to look at ourselves and the entirety of who we are and others are, and not in fragments?